Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. How will Trump's impeachment affect the silver markets? This is the subject of this video, and it's going to be a very complex and broken down situation that really could affect markets across the board, including stocks, cryptocurrency, real estate as well. So we're gonna dive into this, but before we start, we really got to talk about the context of the video, because this isn't a who's right, who's wrong, Democratic, Republican, left or right situation. This is talking about the metals markets and specifically focused on that itself. Now, I'm not going to go into politics on this channel. This channel is talking about the world of precious metals and investing, and that's what I'm going to stick to. So, with that said, let's jump into the video. So, today, there's more news about Trump's impeachment and whether this is going to follow through or just get swept under the rug is going to heavily affect the markets. Emotions are running extremely high right now, for the better or for the worse. And right now it's for the worse, but remember that gold and silver are a safe haven investment. They thrive off of controversy, and right now there's going to be a lot of controversy. Not only the 2020 presidential elections being said, but right now as well, with more impeachment talk, is going to drastically affect the markets. Now, precious metals usually capitalize off of this. They usually bump prices up because it's a safe haven investment where people are fearing the government or the banks. Now, other markets like stocks could be down because stock markets are pegged to the dollar. They're pegged to fiat currency. And this is why I always mention on my channel, if you're investing into something, look at what it does or where it's headed. And the dollar is headed downwards. The dollar is crashing. Hyperinflation has destroyed the dollar. It's lost 98% of its purchasing power. So when you are investing into something that's pegged to the dollar, like stock markets, you're setting yourself up for failure. That's why you need to be investing into gold and silver, because gold and silver have intrinsic value, which means the value is within inside itself. So regardless of the dollar deflating or not, precious metals will always have the metal content inside of it, which is the value. So you're protecting yourself against a lot of different factors that most people aren't even looking at or wouldn't even realize. So with that being said, regarding how this situation plays out, I see silver definitely in a very, very opportunistic, highly potential spot. It's in a very, very good spot, especially since things have been pushed against silver, but silver stood its ground. When stock markets this last week were setting record-breaking highs, gold and silver's prices did not fall. That means there's a lot of support under silver. There's a lot of stability, a lot of foundation. It has a lot of cushion right now, and it's sitting well right now, especially with partial agreements to U.S.-China trade negotiations going through. Or, I mean, we can talk about that not really going through, but people speculated that it would. And this is the whole thing this is the whole thing about this video. This is the whole subject of this video, is speculation. Emotional, wishy-washy, this perception, this wishy-washy perception that even if the things aren't going to happen, if it's talked about in the news, people consume it as if it's fact or if it's true, and then they in return make decisions based off of this assumption as if it was fact, which then affects the markets in reality. So a lot of these prices are being fluctuated around, jumping around off of pure speculation, and it's happening in the world of precious metals as well, which is not good. I'm going to tell you right now, this is not good. If you're one of those people just chasing the dollar, it could be profitable because you can basically speculate when things are going better or worse and invest off of that. But I'm looking at the bigger picture here. The bigger picture is not going to be good because a single tweet from someone should not be able to drastically change markets across the board. That's too much power, that's too much control, and that can be easily manipulated. And this is really what this boils down to. It's emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation. That's not good, because power moves are being at laid on the table. We saw J.P. Morgan manipulating silver prices, Merrill Lynch manipulating silver prices, the Dutch bank manipulating silver prices, spoofing, placing false buy orders on exchanges, misprinted millions of dollars in misprinted gold bars being traded on the black market. Power moves are trying their very best to manipulate the markets, and it's the higher ups, it's the bigger banks, the central banks, the people behind the scenes, the greediness that's going against us, the silver stackers like you and I. It's giving us no advantage, no chance to even try to invest naturally in these prices, because these prices are not natural anymore. There's nothing natural about these markets. It's all speculative. It's all speculative. It's speculation, and it's based off of emotional stability, which it's very low right now. The tensions are high. People are basing their investing decisions off of their emotions, and this can become very irrational, because think about it. If something's happening in the economy, and situations are running extremely high, like partial agreements being shut down, or President Trump's impeachment, or the 2020 presidential election, Iran tensions, Saudi Arabia, Hong Kong protests, the dollar index, stock market setting record highs, all of these things going on at once. All of this stuff is going on at once. And that's just to name a few things. What this is going to do is keep people distracted from what's really going on. And distractions are basically perfect blankets to cover up even bigger situations. It's a blindfold on a bigger situation. They want us to be distracted. But with that said, then they can get away with things that are more serious going on. So right now, the markets are in a very, very, very interesting spot. Very interesting spot. I think gold and silver, like I said earlier in this video, have a chance to profit from this, but it's not in the way that I would want. I would want gold and silver's price naturally to rise because of supply and demand, or because of industrial demand, or something along those lines, not because a tweet went out or because there's speculation in the economy. That's what cryptocurrency was for. That's how cryptocurrency boomed to $20,000 overnight. That's not what I want precious metals to do. It's taking the cheap route, and the cheap route has to pay the price, and it's going to pay the price eventually. So hopefully industrial demand for silver prices will catch up. Hopefully there will be some more stability being built and support, so we don't see this causing too much consequence later down the line. Now, the partial agreement between U.S. and China trade negotiations was a great example of what silver can do, because even though they were mentioning this stuff and people perceived it as it was true, markets were still holding some ground. So this means that gold and silver have some stability. It's not as bad, or it could be a situation that isn't as bad as people think or perceive. And hopefully that's what's happening. Now, stock markets was another great example of this, because even when stocks were setting record highs, gold and silver weren't down too much, and this usually would have pushed silver down to $15. But hopefully people are starting to understand the fundamental values, the fundamental uses that precious metals have to bring to the table, and hopefully this in return will start to look at new investors. We need new money. We need new people into these markets that really understand, not the weak hands, but the people that understand how these markets work. And I think that's going to be really what makes gold and silver succeed in the long end, or in the long term. So anyways, just to recap a little bit, I'm not trying to make a political video. It's not about my opinion on who's right and who's wrong, left or right. I'm talking about what's happening in the economy and how it's affecting metals prices, because this is strictly a precious metals channel, and that's what I want to talk about. This is what my passion is. This is what my interest is. I really don't care left or right, who's left or right, who's right or wrong. I don't care. It's about precious metals. It's about investing. It's about financial freedom, and that's really what my focus is and my interest is with all of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button. Please like this video, share it with your friends and family. If you want to buy some silver, link will be in the description from Golden State Mint. It's a great, respectable place to buy silver for cheap. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're about to hit 24,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support. All right, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys soon. Peace.